You have a podcast and you are struggling to get downloads, and you are also struggling with getting subscribers. If you get about 50,000 downloads, you are noble. At that point in time, you can attract a lot of advertisers, sponsors, and things like that. But you're not getting there. If that's who you are, then this video is for you. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to be sharing with you about 10 different ways you can get more downloads and more subscribers for your podcast. Doesn't matter you have an audio podcast or a video podcast. I think the principles apply for both. And all these, in fact, all the out of all the 10 things that I do or have done, and now I'm doing with my clients, the 10th one is the ultimate technique. So you have to wait till we get to the 10th in the list. But let's start with the first one. The first one is email. You have an email list. You need to, the minute you publish a podcast episode, email your list. Tell them that you got one going. And if you do not have an email list, then what I'm suggesting you do is buy an email list. Do cold email outreach. And Google this. There are so many different ways to do this. I'm not going to go into the techniques of doing this on this video, but cold email outreach campaigns are incredible, and they're the fastest to grow a podcast. The second is podcast directories. There are several of those. Just go Google this, search this. Which podcasting directories should I have my podcast? Or actually, that's a question for maybe ChatGPT. Or if you're going to Google, simply look up some podcasting directories. There are quite a few in there. The one was Listen Notes that I tried. Stitcher is another one. Then you have iHeart Radio. So these are all directories. Just submit your, and some of them charge you money, but you can try those. The third in the list is YouTube Shorts. If you are having an audio podcast, then simply take the audio of that and then put some captions on it, maybe a B-roll video, and you can. Back in the day, I used to use Veed.io for this. So just create a small little 1-minute short, put it on YouTube, and let's see where that goes. I'll get you at least, shorts. The strategy lately has been, in fact, I shouldn't say lately, but this is going on for a couple of years now, where people have their main channel, YouTube channel, but they also have the shorts channel. So people who want to consume the shorts, then they go there. People who want the longer interview, they go there. And with shorts, you can do multiple different things. You can run paid ads on them to get people to come to the main episode, the longer episode. So there's so many different ways to approach that, but I'm just giving you some ideas, right? They all depends on how you approach this, but these are some ideas. So let's go to the next one. This one is a big one. Promo swaps. So you find bunch of other podcasters, creators within your niche, and you tell them, I'm going to give you a 30-second or a 60-second, promo. You play it on one of your episodes, or maybe for a month across all your episodes, and I'm going to do the same for you. That's a swap. And the swap, what happens is, let's say I am going to be playing your promo. Then what I will do is, on my podcast, I will say, hey, I listen to this podcast, and you should also listen to this. Okay? Something like that. So we'll do a name mention. You can do that with a 60-second pre-record audio, but if you can get the podcast host to kind of do a name mention of your podcast, then that's awesome. That's a whole different next level altogether. It just kind of resonates better. You can do audiograms. Audiograms are just audios, little audios that you can put it on LinkedIn, or you can put it on Facebook and things like that. So audiograms are proven because you're leading it with your voice, and then they link back to your podcast. So that's another way of doing it. Facebook groups, you should post your your podcast, talk about your podcast. One of the techniques I used back in the day on Facebook groups was if there was a question somebody asked, then I would respond to the question by saying, hey, I have this podcast episode that I'm specifically talking about the problem that you are talking here, and this is and I talk about multiple different solutions. For example, let's say there is somebody in a Facebook group who is asking, hey, how can I raise my podcast downloads, or how can I get more subscribers to my podcast? Then the response, my response would be, hey, I just released this video on my YouTube channel, go check it out. That's how that works. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this video for that reason, but now I have a resource that I could do. And if I lead that with if that's my strategy, I'm going to lead every episode with that kind of a mindset. Now you know, like now I have a system. I've created a system where I'm like organically growing. The next one in this is newsletters. Back in the day, 20 years ago when I started, newsletters everywhere. So there are newsletters in your area, in your niche. For example, let's say you're a parenting coach. There are newsletters within that space. So you reach out to one of the newsletters and say, listen, would you carry a little bit of a write-up about me and also my podcast? And these are digital newsletters I'm talking about. You could also do that with physical, newsletters too. But digital newsletters is where we are, that's where we want click-throughs. So we go there. You write articles on Medium. That's the next big thing. So you essentially take the podcast episode, you turn that episode, transcribe that, and thanks to ChatGPT these days, you can literally turn the entire transcript into an article and post it on Medium or LinkedIn and get some click-throughs from there. So these are the 9. The last one, the 10th one, is my favorite one. I've done this numerous times, and I'm telling you right now, if you do not do the top 9, just do the 10th one, and you will have a whole different level of growth with your podcast. You'll get some downloads, but if you have a back-end monetization model where you have a course, where you have a workshop or a seminar or something tangible that you are selling, then you will also make revenues right away. So you'll get the subscribers, you get the downloads for your podcast, so you can attract advertisers and sponsorships. But then you'll also be selling a course or a seminar or a workshop that you have, and also generating revenues that way. And this technique is essentially, in the step number 4, I talked about doing audio swaps. So you take the audio that you recorded for an audio swap with other podcasts, you take that and go to a radio station, to your local radio, and you pay to run an ad campaign on radio, which otherwise you do anyway with Facebook and YouTube. So you do that on radio station, and the same 30 seconds or 60 seconds audio recording, you're going to play that on radio, and the result of that would be that you will end up getting a whole new set of listeners for your podcast. And these listeners are totally unaware of your competition. And because you are probably the only solutionist who is coming in front of them to address their problems, you automatically become the logical choice of an individual who's going to triage their issues. Now, let's say you're not going there. You're simply a podcast. Doesn't matter. They will subscribe to the podcast because they're interested. They're raising their hands saying that, yes, I can see what you're saying and I can connect with you. So they'll come to the podcast, they'll listen to all your episodes, and they will subscribe. And now you have a unique subscriber who is very different than every other kind of a subscriber you got from the other 9 different things you did. And there is more power to this. I will be talking about this in an upcoming video. But for now, these are the 10 ways that you can generate subscribers and downloads for your podcast. I hope this is helpful. If it is, do me a favor, like this video, write a comment. If you subscribe to the channel, I can come more often in front of you and we can continue this discussion in upcoming videos. That's all for now. Wherever you are, be safe and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.